Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
To you Redditors aged 50 plus, what's something you genuinely believe young people haven't realized yet, but could enrich their lives or positively impact their outlook on life? Everybody fucks up. It's what you do after that matters. 2 things I will be eternally grateful to my grandfather for instilling in me. Failure is not an end state unless it is where you choose to stop. He loved to quote that line by Churchill whenever something didn't work out for me. Success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Honesty is the most powerful tool you can use to define yourself. Admit your mistake, frankly and honestly. The truth always comes out in the end, no matter how big or small, and it doesn't get better with age. You can give back something you steal. You can help those you hurt, but once they brand you a liar, it's all you will ever be. This is some of the best advice here. Anecdotal, but honesty saved my career twice when I fucked up. I was working for a startup a long time ago and thought I had followed a procedure correctly only to have it bring our production site offline. Right as it went down, I realized I fucked up and missed a critical step. Went straight to the CTO, admitted it, fixed it, and then went before the CEO to explain. The CEO and CTO said they were gonna fire me but didn't want to because they valued my honesty and integrity. They said that had I not been so forthright that they would have tossed me out then and there. Be as honest as possible. It pays in the end. Unless you don't mind hearing like all the time, day and night. Use hearing protection in loud situations. Tinnitus is a bitch. I acquired that shit during an AC/DC concert. I was near the column of speakers. Brian Johnson hit that fucking bell with a huge hammer. That shit fucked my ear forever. The first time I wore earplugs, there was a column of speakers to my left. I only put an earplug in my left ear. The difference in my ears after the show was so shocking. I never went without earplugs again. I knew my hearing was worse after a show, but the comparison was a wake-up call. The muted, whooshing sound in my right ear scared the shit out of me. Edit. I've tried all the earplugs except the custom molded ones. For live shows, NY Go-To is quiet please by Flents. Read the instructions to insert them correctly. Take care of your body. Exercise, keep your weight reasonable, and keep the bad habits in moderation. It really does make a difference later in life. And take care of your teeth. It's fucking expensive replacing crowns, getting implants, etc. You forgot dentures. I can't afford them and have been on a free clinic waiting list for my name to come up for 2 years. Just gumming my food really changes your diet. Nobody else ever thinks about the things you did that you think were embarrassing or cringeworthy. You are not important to them. The only one who remembers those moments are you, and you shouldn't let them define you to yourself. I heard a saying once. When you're young, you constantly worry about what everyone else thinks of you. When you're an adult, you stop worrying about what everyone else thinks of you. And when you're old, you finally realize that nobody else was thinking about you anyway. Stop thinking your life is about being the most productive person you can be. Find interesting hobbies that make you feel good and are good for you. Your soul deserves to experience some of your own dreams. Don't waste all of your time working towards the dreams of your company's owners. It took an existential crisis and an opioid addiction for me to finally understand this. Kept living my life trying to live up to my parents' expectations, and once I achieved multiple college degrees, a great job, nice home, all the toys I wanted, etc., I realized it was all meaningless and I was only 25. I was like, WTF, I'm not even halfway through my life and there's nothing left for me to do, achieve. And I'm still not fucking happy. If I've achieved everything I've ever dreamed of since I was a wee lad, and I still feel empty, unfulfilled, then what does it all mean? Now I live for myself. Take the time to do what makes me happy. And my outlook on life is much better. I finally stopped future tripping and can finally live in the now. I had an angry life until I adopted a cat. That cat passed away back in January and I'm glad I got to live a life with that cat, but now I feel very empty again. I cannot afford another cat because the vet bills put me into debt. Thing is, before I had that cat, I was angry I was born every single day. But it was important for me to have that joy. Otherwise I think it would have all been a waste. I guess I commented because adopting that cat was that little step to doing something that made me happy. Wear sunscreen. I just had a quick look at my 50-year-old upper chest. Frequently exposed to the sun in my youth. And compared it to my 50-year-old belly, which has always been clothed and covered. I have never liked 2-piece swimsuits. What a difference. My 50-year-old friend in Florida may be darker than me, but she's starting to look a bit like Leatherface. If I could offer you only one tip for the future, sunscreen would be it. The long-term benefits of sunscreen have been proved by scientists. It's crazy because I tell this to all my friends. 20s, and they think I'm crazy for always applying it before I go out. I've even seen videos where people are like, why are you so obsessed with looking young? Aging is normal, and sunscreen causes cancer while the sun is natural. I didn't know until 2 weeks ago that some people hate sunscreen and truly think it's a cancerous skincare fad. Edit. If you don't like sunscreen because of how it feels or something, do research and get a different brand. There are great ones that don't feel annoying to apply. Marriage. Relationships should be fun and happy. Life is hard. Things get tough. Find someone that makes the tough times easier, not harder. Piggybacking off this and saying, even the happiest marriages get into arguments. It's not a reason to leave. Piggybacking off this to saying, discover ways to resolve conflict, to realign and re-harmonize, early in the relationship. Make it a habit to not linger in the muck. Shit happens, so get good at fixing it, at its root. Closing parenthesis. And moving on. The difference between heavenly and hellish relationships is in having a supportive, connecting attitude versus one of judgment, isolation, retribution, and this attitude gets applied to every interaction, hundreds of times a day, every day of the year. No marriage is going to be 100% happy and fun. You'll have fights and arguments. The key is to talk through them like sane, mature adults and then move on.